Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So what I'm about to show you is again something that many few people are not really ready yet, because it's things that just go against the dogma that you've been taught since you were in primary school. What we're seeing here is an undisclosed location photo from the Amazons, where we see that there's these huge, gigantic megalithic stones, which are obviously artificial, placed one on top of each other, which resembles of what? Of a giant, huge, massive structure which could span, I don't know how many dozens of meters or hundreds of meters, I have no idea. But this is just an example of that back in the Amazons, there are so many places which are completely undisclosed to people, and most likely they contain some of the most amazing ruins yet to be discovered by humankind. Obviously, these things will never be disclosed to the public in official history books, because if they would do so, then they would have to explain who made them, and we all know the answer to that. They don't know. Nobody really knows. An ancient civilization, a people before the reset. There's many other theories, but these are some of them actually right now. Now, what you're looking here is basically petrified stone with different minerals, but this petrified stone has some very interesting characteristics. If you look at actually and use Google Lens, even Google Lens identifies this as pork. That's right, because it looks like meat. This is basically petrified meat from a giant back in the day. Giants who died on Earth, which were titans, and during the petrification process, their muscles, their blood petrified, and some of these layers, once they got cut, of course, they have the same shape as bacon. This is from Thailand, for example. This is one of the Thailand's national treasures. And here we see is basically a piece of petrified meat from a giant. As simple as that. This is what it is, guys. And I know that this may be shocking to some of you. Some of you will completely reject this as a crazy lunacy, basically. But the people, some of us who are a bit more open to the reality of our past, and we know that the resets have happened, we know 100% that this is not just natural stone. This is petrified meat, guys. And the resemblance is just uncanny, if you just ask me. Just goes to show, guys, that, yeah, our reality is much more complex than you actually think. This photo is from the colonization in the Americas, and what do we have here? Well, we have effectively some huge giants. I mean, these giants, if you just compare them with a normal human being, for example, they are literally double the size of a human being. So we know that native giants actually lived in the Americas, and we have records of history which mention them. And of course, this goes to show that they would hunt them down, because of course the giants, about like 500 years ago, there were very few left, so they would be hunted down, they would be killed, because they were a danger and they were a menace to the colonists. These people in groups, they would actually be able to finish a whole army, so of course they would try to hunt them separately, one by one, and just get rid of the giants, because they were an actual menace to the humans. So yeah, just goes to show that the wheel turns, and when the giants and the Nephilim used to be the, I would say, the most powerful force on Earth, things change, and now because there are more humans than giants back in the Middle Ages, of course, then, as a consequence, these people were effectively hunted down and killed, because they were considered as a big danger. Now, this one is a very interesting one, because here we have a sacred warrior which was recorded back in the history books, and this warrior had the head of a dog. This warrior was apparently sacred, and he would even stop the arrows from attacking him in midair using some sort of like levitation technique. So back in the day, there was effectively a lot of records about these special people who would effectively have the shape or the face of a dog and have very unique telekinesis powers potentially back in the day. We all know that human genetical modifications have happened in the past, and the remnants of that has been shown in different maps across the time. So this is just one more example of those interesting mutants of the day who fought against humans back in the Middle Ages one more time. And then of course they had these very crazy fights in which, yeah, things like this happen, like the arrows would literally just fly back to the enemies because this person or this being had telekinetical powers or some sort of like force field which would protect themselves from any harm. And that's just absolutely amazing, isn't it? So guys, that's it for today's videos on this. As always, as I said always, make sure to take this lightly and don't only take this super seriously if you're really into your official versions, because some people are not ready for this, and we just have to clarify that we have to show the truth, we have to show the alternative, but don't take it that seriously. If you just can't handle it, go back to your official version if you feel more comfortable with that, because I don't want you to have a dilemma in your life and be completely lost in your thoughts. But of course, as always, if you're open and if your mind is ready to evolve, there's so much more to show you, which is basically things that the official narrative will never want to show you ever, because if they do, then of course their whole story crumbles to pieces. So guys, that's it for today's video. I shall see you as always in the next upload. Bye.